Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Wanted to show you a quick drill that you can use to get your players to play off 2 feet at the basket and be more under control. There's a lot of colleges that preach and promote this. I think Villanova's really famous for getting their players to play off 2 feet. And there's some reasons why. I think there's 3 main reasons you want your players to be able to play off 2 feet at the basket. I think number 1 is it's going to allow your players to be more under control. Oftentimes you see younger players leave their feet to try to score or make a pass, and they kind of get stuck in that position and the defense takes it away. So again, it's going to get your players to be more under control. I think number 2, it's going to allow your players to finish stronger at the basket. So again, they're going to be able to feel the defense. They're going to be able to get stronger off of those 2 feet and be a tougher finish at the rim. And then I think number 3, and the most important thing, is it allows your players to be better decision makers. If they play off 2 feet, again, they're more under control, but it avoids those charges. It avoids those needless turnovers. If they don't have the shot, they can pass it back out, or they can try to make a better finishing move at the basket. Now, so again, it's another thing just to get them to remind themselves to be under control. A lot of times, especially with smaller players, think about it. The shot blocker comes over from the help side. They want to block that shot. And getting your player to play off 2 feet, give a shot fake, get into their body, and finish is going to be a great play for your offense. I think an and one is one of the best plays in basketball because, again, it's a chance to get 3 points, but it also draws a foul on the other team. So it's a great play to have in the offense, but again, you have to drill this. It has to be a part of your fundamentals so that players are reminded the importance of it.
Again, the give and go series is about what to do once you make a pass. Make a hard basket cut or a rim cut, and the passer's got to see the cutter to the rim. You can't be putting it on the floor until you see the cutter to the rim. And after the guy passes it to the cutter, we call it a Laker cut. You make another cut to the rim and the coach delivers a ball so both players get a shot. Again, hard rim cut, then make a hard Laker cut after delivering. Again, this can be done at any position, but dribble at is basically when the ball handler dribbles directly at any player. That player automatically goes backdoor. That is in any fundamental offense. When a person dribbles at you directly, that is the read and react of you have to go backdoor, whether you get the ball or not. You're creating a driving lane. Also, you're creating a possible backdoor cut. Again, passing or dribbling, but when you make a pass to the wing and somebody goes baseline, what's the natural reaction? A bump behind. Again, if a guy goes baseline, you got to fill behind, clock behind, or bump behind. Nice reverse pivot. The dribbler's got to get in the paint to make the defense react, and then an inside pivot. So they're sealing their
stand there. It's probably a little bit easier for the defense to recover. And again, in the game, you're probably moving more often than you are just standing there. You might be a corner shooter, but oftentimes in fast breaks or within the play, you are moving as you catch the ball. As you see in the corner, again, our shooters need to be on balance. They need to be talking. Their butts down, their feet are ready, their hands are ready as they go into their shots. Now at other baskets, we will also make this competitive, so other groups are going as well. You can go to a certain number depending on how many players you have. We usually go to about 8 or 10 makes. That's usually a good short competitive spot for each one. And then as we get through this spot, we'll show you how we change from the corner shot to get wing shots. So again, this group won that first session, the first corner spot. So now we're going to adjust to make it more of a baseline drive. Now on this baseline drive, again, I always tell coaches, especially if you're working with younger players, it's going to depend on your passer's ability, because oftentimes as guys drive baseline, you kind of want there to be a guy in the corner for that release. But when we do this drill, we add that layer of the player moving out of the corner up to the wing. So again, this is a difficult pass, but it does reflect some situations in games. Now, I probably did a poor job of talking to our passers here. You probably want your passers not leaving their feet to make this pass. Oftentimes that will lead into a charge or a turnover if that pass isn't there. So some of these kids have improved their spot on, getting to that spot and not necessarily jumping towards the basket, because again, a good defender is going to take a charge. We will add is our elbow shooting and our elbow moves. So again, this is just a very, very fundamental drill where we're really focusing on the footwork, coming on that inside foot, working on their shot. Just the ability to knock down an open shot and have the proper footwork is important. And then we'll add layers to this drill where the players now add a shot fake or a rip through to the basket and being able to be efficient with their dribbles. So again, being able to score with a shot fake and a rip through. And then at the end, we'll show you one of my favorite moves, which is the spin move. So if you're playing a good defender, you have a guy that cuts off the initial
drill. Great at the mid-range game. You're going to rip, ball toss, rip inside to out, and pick a dribble move that you want to do, and you're going to clear that last chair or cone with 1 or 2 dribbles and pull up for the jumper.
Through. We still want them to come on that inside foot, and then that ability to rip by the defense if that guy steps up and takes away your shot. So very important as a coach that you're watching the proper footwork on this and making sure that they're doing things the right way.
Pivot scoring move, pretty simple. The key is dribbling hard, landing on 2 feet, and it's a simple forward pivot with your left or right foot, depending on which direction you're going. Ball cross your face hard, and you go up strong. Hips across scoring move. So on the last dribble, you're going to pound it hard and cross your hips across the defender or the rim and try to score going up hard. All right, the tight chair finishing series. We're doing all the dribble moves we did before. We switch sides as we go. Here I want the players to choose how they finish, whether it's a regular layup, a power layup, a reverse layup, or a jumper within 5 to 6 feet. All right, the Steve Nash drill. So you're going to rip from inside out, attacking the chair at the block, and then doing a retreat dribble to the chair in the corner where you do a dribble move and then you attack the chair again.
Again, we want them to be short and compact and be able to finish at the rim. We will expand into jump shots and different ways to score, but this is a good drill to really work on different scoring options to the basket and around the top of the key. So here you see we start off with a jump stop, a short rip, and then we're keeping those dribbles really tight and compact. So again, these players are going to the right with a crossover, coming back, quick crossover into a finish layup. Then they will move to the left side. So that was crossovers. Now we will move to a between the legs. Now at the end of the between the legs, we will work on a different type of finish. With each move, we change our finish. So here we're adding a high off the glass finish. So we're acting as if there's a shot blocker or somebody that's at the rim where you have to finish high off the glass. And I think this is a good drill to work on, especially at a young age, because oftentimes you see kids miss layups on the short end. So they miss it and it hits the rim. So this is a good drill to work on getting it high. Again, high finish off the glass. It takes a little bit of touch, but again, I think it's a good drill to work on. It's a challenge even for older kids to work on, but something that you should have in your game as a way to finish, especially as you start to play older and taller players and people that can, challenge your shots at the rim. You have to work on finishing it high off the glass. The next one we will add will now be behind the backs, but now at the last cone, we are going to add a Euro step. So some type of move, say there's a player down there that's trying to take a charge or maybe loaded up as a defender, and you need to avoid the contact. So here we're going to go behind the back and add a Euro step. We like to add that Euro step through the lane, avoid that charge, working on that finish. Again, it's a quick change of direction. It's a challenging drill, but this is something to have in your skill set as a guard or as a scorer, where again, you're attacking the lane, that guy's there to take a charge. You want to be able to avoid that player. Using that jab to create space, but we're also working on coming off of a ball screen from the wing. So here, again, the guards are going to jab step to try to get that defender to react, and then we're simulating like they're coming off of a ball screen, tight to the ball screen, and working on different finishes here. So right now we're just working on that, that layup where you're getting down the lane, you're getting to the other side. So again, we like to jab to the baseline just to get that defender off you or get that defender to react. And then you're downhill close to the screen. Now you could put a chair there. You could put, some people have those bigger items that you can use to simulate a screen. We will go through crossovers. Next time through, we'll go between the legs. Then we will go behind the back. And then we will finish with a variation, something that they can do, a different move at each chair or cone. Now, I think it's good to have a coach or somebody at the rim that's trying to distract or maybe bump the players off their path. Try to make it a little bit more realistic so they're not just going straight into their layup. They have to avoid contact and they have to make some type of creative move at the rim. I think that's important. A lot of times, that help side defender is going to move you off that straight line where you have to finish through contact. So here I am, hitting them with like a little, this is actually a football pad that we borrowed from the football program. And again, not like something where you're, obviously fouling them, but you're just trying to distract them or take them off that straight line. Now we're going to between the legs. So again, it's very quick, efficient in the movements to the basket. And then again, different types of finishes. I really like 2 feet finishes, especially in traffic. I think it gets you more under control. I think you're a little more tougher with the ball. And then if you don't have a shot, again, you can shot fake or you can kick it out. You don't have to leave your feet in the air and try to score on a difficult finish in traffic. I think players oftentimes get themselves in trouble when they try to jump, and in traffic, they're trying to just in the air. Again, now we're going to behind the back. Same thing. It's a tight space. Again, yeah, it's probably not game-like where you're going to go behind the back 4 times in this small of an area, but I think anytime in practice that you can make things a little bit more challenging or overemphasize certain moves, I think it can help players grow, especially with their ball handling and change of direction here. So I like it that at the end they have to make a quick move and then go right into their finish at the rim. Then again, that last one, tell your players to be creative on this last one. Make sure they're mixing it up. Do a different move. Mix in some double moves. Mix in their favorite move. I'm always a big proponent of have like go-to moves. Have a move you're really good at. Something that if they don't take it away, you can go to that move and then have a counter, right? If your move is maybe something like an in and out, right? Getting the defense to lean in and out, that's something that you can go to create